So we got to give someone their flowers today. And that person is Scott Jennings. Scott Jennings, quite frankly, is single-handedly the only reason why anybody, especially on the right, and probably independents as well, would even tune in to CNN at all. Scott Jennings is the sole reason why, because he is continuously embarrassing these folks clip after clip after clip. So much so that people like Elon Musk and Joe Rogan have even acknowledged it now. Let's dive in.
Scott Jennings on CNN is good.
Yeah.
He's like,
oh my God, he's great.
he's great.
It's
like
just funny watching him speak logically to these people, and they freak out.
Yes, it's remarkable.
It is. And he's so calm when he does it.
Yeah,
he's so good, and it's crazy that they keep letting him do it because it's like he's just dunking on these people over and over and over again, and they never score. It's kind of funny.
Totally.
I mean, kudos to them for having a legitimate conservative voice who's a reasonable person on these panels now. But even then, he's outmanned. It's like one of him, and there's a bunch of screechy, woke people. And it's wild. I mean, they're like, I think we should still stay mostly woke. Like
yes,
yeah, that's essentially what they're doing. They're like, our business was being hurt when we were all woke, but let's stay mostly woke.
Yeah,
that way
they just backed it off a notch.
Just a notch. A notch. But it's not. The problem is when you back it off a notch and you let someone like Scott Jennings in, you're fucking up your whole business because all the viral clips are all him saying logical, reasonable things with a calm tone and people screeching about diversity and equity and and horseshit.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like being logical and reasonable, and they're just lobbing a bunch of non sequiturs that don't mean anything, and
100% facts. And obviously we have checked out Scott Jennings quite a number of times right here on this channel, and we're gonna dive into a few of those clips, all right? Because I think it's important to really highlight this, the delusional aspect of all of this is just crazy, right? You got Scott Jennings, and you heard Joe Rogan say that Scott Jennings by himself absolutely dismantling entire panels of these leftists on CNN, just the entire panel. Just imagine if you had 2 or 3 Scott Jennings on a panel versus 2 Democrats, right? Two of these leftists instead of Scott Jennings versus 5 people, just yelling and screaming at him. And listen, I got to give him credit because he doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't get loud or yell back at them or call them any type of names or anything like that. Like, he just calmly destroys them every single time. It is great to see. Let's check out a couple of these clips.
Be real for a moment that Doge is not about cutting money, right? It's not about spending. It's about shrinking government so that it'll be too small to stop Trump with whatever else is in this plan.
Why would the government stop Trump? Isn't he the head of the government? You're saying the government would be too small to stop Trump. If Trump's the president, why would the government, the bureaucracy, be actively trying to stop him?
Because he is shredding the Constitution and creating an authoritarian dictatorship. That's why.
And no matter who is in office, I'm going to hold them accountable. But more importantly, I'm going to make sure the government is working for the American people.
Both of you all made an interesting point, which is that your view is that Trump is shredding the Constitution. I'd like to hear more about that. But that it seems to me that you all both believe that the unelected part of our government, the bureaucracy, has a responsibility to resist the political leadership. Is that your view?
That's not actually
That's
what
not
we
at all
said. We
what I
said they
said.
are
Yeah, it is.
upholding the Constitution, the principles of the Constitution, and at times
How
that we
is
have
Trump
seen.
shredding the Constitution?
My God, he's like. Should
I
we
mean,
go
seriously,
to
do we have to
believe in
give
the
you a
balance of
civics
power,
lesson
Scott.
that we have?
I don't know,
that we put all power in the executive
How is
branch.
holding the
The legislative branch.
Notice they didn't explain how he was shredding the Constitution.
The FBI, now we're in control of the military,
Yes.
silencing media.
Chief,
This
head
is
of the
what you
military.
do
It's a
in
great
a
side of
dictatorship.
Are
This
you
is not.
suggesting that the president is not the commander-in-chief of the military?
I am suggesting that the president is going to put in charge somebody who is going to contravene the Constitution. And at some near point, this conversation will look very silly for you because it will be obvious. And right now, you're
Wait,
gaslighting.
he's gonna
but when we
put-
get to the actual
he's
rubber
gonna
of the
put-
road of
I'm
this,
sorry.
it will be clear.
I'm interested in this conversation. he's going to put someone in charge who will contravene the Constitution. Like, who? What do you mean by that? The president is in charge of the military, is he not? You said he's going to put someone in charge of the military?
Bro, these people are so clueless. Trump is literally, the president is literally the commander-in-chief. But these people, man, they don't have a clue, bro. They don't have a fucking clue. Let's check out the next one.
Look, if you look at the arc of the Biden presidency, he was in really good shape until August of 2021. When Afghanistan happened, he went under 40, she went under 40, and they really lived there until the end of the He's still there.
Why?
I'll tell you why.
Because he ran and told us that the adults were back in charge, and that was the opposite.
Yeah, they
of
were
that.
because
and
Donald Trump was a child.
And you know what else?
Yeah.
And you know what else?
He's a
the fact that they wouldn't give these 13 service members' families the time of
bullshit,
day.
Dude.
The time of day.
I'm sorry, but Donald Trump hates veterans. He called them suckers and losers. He did. He absolutely, despite he has his whole life. He has his entire life.
I know you're super emotional. I just.
Of course I am. I'm terrified.
I'm telling you, the political reality is that when they made that decision.
It doesn't matter. You don't admit
when they made that
Donald Trump
decision.
hates veterans. You don't admit it. You deny a man, Chief John Kelly, a Marine. You deny. You say he lied.
You're still campaigning.
You say
It's
he
over,
lied.
brother.
It's not over. It'll never be over.
I want to hear what
It'll never be over.
Bro, he was so calm, man. This dude is losing his mind. He's like, yeah, I am. I'm terrified. Scott Jennings, you're still campaigning, brother. It's over. You're still campaigning, brother. It's over. Oh, man. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. This guy's just dunking all on these folks. Just dunking on them.
But if we had a president a Democratic president who ran over these norms, you would be upset.
Dan, you keep saying that we'd be upset if a Democratic president violated norms. Brother, last year, Joe Biden was asleep and Kamala Harris was at a dance party with Beyonce all year. You violated norms for the entire year, and it's one of the reasons that Donald Trump won the election. Norms were violated for 4 straight years. And yes, I didn't like it. But Donald Trump, in my opinion, is not exceeding his authority under the Constitution with this.
Joe Biden is asleep. Kamala is at a dance party with Beyonce. 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 Beyonce.
Oh, man. Scott is too good, man. He's too good. Far too good for these folks. Oh, man. He's running circles around them. Jeez Louise. Dance party with Beyonce. Beyonce.
When you are, what the Democrats should be doing is they should have ads in all of these battleground states and states that are critical in the midterm elections with the chainsaw showing how many jobs have been cut. And these are real people.
I actually agree. I think the Democrats should run their midterm on being the party of bigger government.
No,
and Republicans should run on the party of smaller government. And I think these ads would be quite effective.
There are two things. What you forget.
She said that's not what she said, but that's literally what she said. She said run ads in these swing states showing how many government jobs that Trump has gotten rid of. And Scott Jennings said, yeah, we should run those ads on how much Democrats are completely against it. Oh, that's not what I said. What? Oh my goodness.
Is that when Trump was president
when
Trump was president last time around, what happened was that it was complete chaos. And what we had to do as Democrats is run on healthcare, run on how the government was chaos. And what happened? I think you tend to forget, Scott, because you guys lost in 2018 and in 2020. You lost everything.
I'm sorry, what happened in 24?
And so what I will say is we are back. We are
because
back.
People are mad.
He is back. Yes, you're right, because people are mad. But this time around, Trump only cares about himself and doesn't care about the midterm elections and doesn't care about who wins in 4 years for the presidency. And so I would. Oh yeah, I think
everybody
everything
wants to be
you've
followed
seen.
by their own
Look,
party.
I also think that there's. I mean,
you know, it's funny. It's funny how they always try to put words in Trump's mouth, right? When have you ever heard Trump say, I don't care about the next Republican president? Oh, I don't care about, Republicans during the midterm. When have you ever heard him say that? Never. But these Democrats feel comfortable saying that. But if you try to put words in their mouth, oh my goodness, no, I didn't say that. Scott Jennings literally repeating what these people say. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. He's repeating back to you what you said. And you're claiming you didn't say it? Wow. Quite interesting. Quite interesting. I'll play one more. I don't want to make this video too long, but check this one out.
Do you see something in that?
I mean, is that profound because it rhymes? I mean, look, she doesn't have to be...
I do think it was very well said.
She doesn't have to be flawless, but she has to give you something. I mean, she's like a true double threat. You know, she's terrible on her feet when she gets unexpected questions, and simultaneously, she can't even answer the expected questions. It's nothing, nothing, nothing. You'd think she'd be prepared to do this by now. You know, what's a mistake you've made? Nothing. What's a weakness you have? Nothing. What's the first law you want to pass? Nothing. What's a policy difference between you and Joe Biden? Nothing. Over and over and over. Empty, empty, empty. If she were an animal, she'd be a duck-billed platitude.
But look,
it's
be a duck-billed platitude. Oh my goodness. Jeez Louise, man. Scott Jennings, man, appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you for this entertainment. Keep dunking on these leftists. Keep dunking on them. You know, and like I said earlier, I love the fact that he dunks on them calmly. He never raises his voice. He never calls them out of their name, right? He never just pulls something out of his ass like they do. Sometimes he literally will repeat their own words back to them, making them look silly. But ultimately, he does it calmly every single... I don't know how he does it, because I couldn't. I genuinely could not sit there on a panel full of people that are spewing out bullshit right in my face, expecting me to, like, believe them. I just couldn't do it. Like, something would come out of my mouth that would get me in trouble. Like, call them fucking stupid on live television. Like, y'all are fucking stupid, you know? Like, genuinely, that would probably come out of my mouth by accident, you know? Because I would be thinking it so much, eventually, like, it would just, you know, like, come out at one point, you know, while somebody's on some TDS rant, Trump derangement rant. I would just literally say it. It would get me fired. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know how he does it, man. It's crazy. If anybody deserves to be paid some millions at CNN, it's Scott Jennings. That's for sure. But anyway, salute to Scott Jennings, man. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. We appreciate you. Peace and love, family. I'm out.